Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to Gimbalabs. Today is the 29th of January 2026. It's Thursday. It's 14:30 UTC. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world. I'm your host, Newman, along with my co-host, Harsha. It's time for the open spaces. It's Gimbal Labs community. We get together, we do these 90-minute sessions, we share, we talk, we kibitz, we do the things that we do that when humans and AI and note takers get together and in the same space, in the same time. Um, we share updates, we explore new ideas, new things happen, and we do consent-based governance. By doing this, everybody gets aligned. It's this little magic trick. And our sort of purpose, and we get aligned to that purpose. And guess what? I'm going to read the purpose: to provide open, replicable, safe spaces for people everywhere to learn, to explore, and to empower one another to solve meaningful problems. How about that? Beautiful. Um, while we settle in, and we've already done our little check-in, I think I want to focus as we do our monthly end of the month review process. I want to focus on opportunity and why to have a network. A lot of us are vibe coding and whatnot, and before vibe coding, we had to like go through like Stack Exchange and blogs and video tutorials. You know, but there's something magical about having live friends in a live space. So I want to invite you all to these meetings that also happen at 14:30 UTC on Tuesday, where we go into Mesh, and Wednesday where we go into Aiken. Um, and and Lucas is here, where there'll be opportunities to go into sort of general Web3 topics. Getting together with friends is like a magical human intelligence thing. So I think that's what we sort of do. We create these spaces, and the spaces give us opportunity. Um, Harsha, does that sound like a coherent kind of introduction to the meeting
Yeah,
today?
it sounds like a magical human intelligence thing. Yes.
Harsha and I have been doing the magical human intelligence thing for years now, and it has. Wasn't it fun this week? At the end of the workday, when you're like energized, and I felt that a couple of times. It doesn't happen every time, but I was like, oh, we're doing stuff, especially with this Cardano Go, like learning a whole new language and a whole new sort of thing. All sorts of beautiful things happen. With that, I definitely want to start going through I want to do a little DREP reminder. And I also want to invite folks to put their initial and location in the chat to get put into our map. Like we've been doing these little recordings of maps. So you can put your initials and location for a meeting map. Um, has anybody, does anybody have a let's see. Anything with the DREP proposals that are out there right now? We're just going to spend a minute or so on this, and I'll share my screen. Uh, oh, which screen are you? Which screen can you see? This one?
Your
This one?
fireflies,
Okay, cool.
GovTools.
Yeah, nice. So these are the live voting. This Delta D5 from the good friends Henson and crew, Sedan Labs. Um, This one's from them. This net change limit is still going, expires on the 8th of February. Oh, this one expires today. It doesn't look like it. I looked at it and it's got like a hard no. So, um, name protocol version 11 hard fork. Van Rossum. Anything sparking interest? Anything that like jumps out at you as like, ooh, as community builders doing
Uh,
doing development work on Cardano that we
Lucas
really
has
need to
his hand
address?
up.
Okay, Lucas.
yeah, I was just gonna clarify. Max van Rossum was constitutional delegate for the Netherlands, He was also collaborating with me and with a number of others and representing Europe in the constitutional work that was done late 2024 in Argentina and before that in Kenya. And he passed away at the end of the year. And so, yeah, I've been initially I heard about this proposal and I was checking in on it like 2 days ago, and I was really surprised how low the approval rate is so far. So I'm also going to try to share as much as I can about Max because obviously we're not comparing anyone to anyone, but I really feel like um, it would be warranted to have his name on this next hard fork. Maybe not because of having created this huge app or something like that, but because of how inspirational he was to the people around him, whether online, like we work remotely, like we're doing here, or on site in the Netherlands. I know they were organizing events from time to time, and it was always very great, very good to work with Max and to hear his passion for Cardano. So thanks for listening, and
Yeah,
maybe have a look at it.
absolutely. And this is I feel like that's a win for just bringing this up because I didn't know about Max. I didn't know about this. And in reading the, I guess, name protocol version 11 hard fork van, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's good to pause and sort of learn about these things. Um, so I think maybe this is one that we could support. So once we do that, then we can come over here, we can connect to wallet, etc. I'll invite you all to do that, and we'll start this process. I'm going to drop this link back in our chat, and we can we can say and this is like a little bit towards getting our DREP processes going. All right. Okay. Next ones. Are there any announcements or agenda setting is our next sort of thing. Does anybody got a burning desire to talk about anything? I think we've got the end of the year video drop uh, from Aomi and Jethro and Shaggy who participated in that. Um, we're thinking about doing this live portal, but I think James has got a short time, so we'll get on that one next. So, if there's any other things that we want to talk about, we can do a little agenda setting. We're at this part, this calendar and this agenda setting. So we'll give them a minute or two here. So you can raise your hand or just come off mute and give us any agenda things that you have a burning desire to talk about, as well as a project that you want to report on. Abio, Don, go ahead. I see your hands up, but you're muted still. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I think I spoke about it just now in the beginning of the meeting about the automation we discussed last week. So I have
Okay.
something drafted that I could
Ooh.
just share, yeah. And I think it will be very good for the entire ecosystem. All right.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Perfect. Aomi, you're good with we're gonna I think we could premiere the whole video here if we've got I think we're gonna have enough time for that. Okay, she gives us the party sign. Any other agenda items? And of course, things will develop as we go through the process. What we'll do during that meeting review, we'll look over here. This is the Gimbalabs Notion page and our project board. And we'll start with the things that are in progress. And we'll just go through and sort of touch on them a little bit. And then once we go through those, then we'll go through these that are planning and proposals ready for review. Okay.
Did you include there for today, very quick alignment about the Web3 sessions?
Yes. Let's I'll put that one down in our down in here. This one. Focus on Web3 session. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else? Or any announcements, anything that is coming up that you want to shout out, an event or like a project that you may have mentioned in our on our check-in, but that was not on the YouTube. So if you want to put anything out there to any listeners on YouTube, Aomi, and then uh, Unified Cardano.
Thank you. Um, on X, I host weekly Cardano
Oh,
newcomer support X spaces. So no, this is not okay.
oh.
Um,
You don't want me to put it down there? It's like a hard no. Don't put it there. Okay, okay, I won't put anything there.
so I am looking at um hosting projects on Cardano to come and tell us what they do every month. So I am looking at um inviting Gimbalabs to come around maybe next month to come and tell the community what they are doing and things like that on the space. Yeah, so that's it.
What's your X handle? Would you put that in the chat?
Okay, I'll do that.
Yes, yes, yes. And Yusuf, am I saying that right?
Yes, you are. It's like
Okay,
Musa.
Musa.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
I just want to say, just like an announcement officially or unofficially though.
Yeah.
Musa Return is now the new and latest the rep in the Cardano ecosystem. So yeah, seeking for support of delegation if my guiding policy or principles align with anybody, yeah, feel free to delegate and see how we come up with rationales before voting on any governance action in the ecosystem. Also, yeah, that's just that. Just want to like inform the community that test the rep in the ecosystem now.
And drop a link if you can. I'll put that one in our announcements. That sounds great. We're one of the things that we do, and it's in that little the driver or the purpose statement, is that we're trying to do replicable things such that others can follow along with it. And we do have sort of an educational bent. We have a meeting thing. That's sort of what Avia done is talking about, like how can we automate meetings? How can we facilitate in such a way to bring people together? But then we also are a DREP. We're also a stake pool, and I would love to at some point like talk about our stake pool operations. But this DREP process are things that like how do constituencies, how do people get together and do that magical intelligence thing when people get together and network together? Like, how does that express itself in the form of a DREP? We're sort of like a school. We kind of have school vibes, but that's not necessarily, like the thing. So yeah, Musa, I think that'll be really cool. If there's more DREP tooling that can be built. We're also builders. That's sort of the other thing is that we want to build these tools together and give each other opportunity. Okay, but drop that. Did you put that in there? Let's get it in the chat. We'll get the link. And then Harsha, do you think we've got like our agendas taken care of? We did calendar items and announcements. We did the DREP report. And then I think we're ready to start going through our reviews or let's hear from let's watch our video. It's like 12 minutes long, but that should be fine. I think we're ready for it. It'll kind of get us in the frame of like reviewing projects. And you'll get to hear my lovely intro from the park. Harsha Harsha's
Yep,
not
yep.
saying
I'm
anything,
here.
so it
I'm
means
here.
that yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. What do you think? Are we ready to move on to that?
Yeah, sure.
I think so. Okay. Aomi, hey,
So,
thank you for doing this.
I
Oh,
have
go
a
for it.
question, Newman. Do we do the video in the end or the beginning?
Oh no, let's do it. Well, I mean, we could kind of intro it. We've been introing it for a bit. It just I can say, hey, I can thank Aomi and Shaggy and yeah, no, Jethro, who put all this together. They came up with the idea. They took the initiative. They wrote a proposal. They did, they did meetings and announcements. They coordinated, collaborated. They connected with people. They did all that incredible stuff, and then produced a pretty cool artifact that we can share and do. That will sort of try to get us out and sort of get us into the habit of saying, hey, look at all this cool stuff that Gimbalabs is doing. Aomi, does that sort of tells the story of what this is about? You want to add anything before you fire it up?
You said everything perfectly.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right. Uh, can you share your screen and show it? And we'll all sit back and listen for a bit. Yeah.
Okay. Can you see my
And
screen?
now, yeah, we got it. Now, I definitely want you to pay attention to the music that's playing. This is licensed music from the Solidity crew and the Juke Boys, brought to us by Shaggy. I I would love for another proposal about like learning about music rights, learning about these things. And this gives us a case study of like how he did it, what's actually going on. So that I would love to see be taken up. For instance, with our facilitation and part of our meetings, wouldn't it be cool if we had a bit of licensed music for every like little intro music? We can have seasonal intro music.
Now I wish I
I
would
don't
have
know.
took the mic. Now I wish I would have took the mic earlier when you were like, "Does anyone have any pressing topics?" Oh man, I could talk about this all day. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into it.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it.
We
Yeah, yeah.
appreciate the opportunity. Thank you very much, Gimbalabs.
Opportunities. Yes, yes, man. All right, here we go. And let's go full screen on your screen, and it might make it bigger here when we play it.
Okay.
Nice.
Can you hear the sound?
Oh no.
I'm Newman, and this
Yes, we got it. We got the sound. The sound's there. Yeah.
is the 2025 Gimbalabs Reflection Showcase, the end of the year thing. What we've got are some.
Aomi, if you'd like, I can play it on my end. It's a little bit rough.
Yeah, let's play it. Let's play it on Shaggy's. Shaggy, would you mind sharing and do it? Thank you so much, man.
Yes, sir. Bear with me one moment, and I will.
Yeah,
share
no
my
worries, no
screen.
worries.
Share screen.
And at the end of this, we'll make it live on YouTube.
All right. If you can still hear me.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, cool. I'm going to mute myself and play it.
Nice.
Can you hear the audio?
No. Oh man, no audio on this one.
And contributing to open source and leading the way for future generations of.
We got it. We got it. Yay! That's the music that I want to hear.
Hey, I'm
Absolutely.
Newman, and this is the 2025 Gimbalabs Reflection Showcase, end of the year thing. What we've got are some teams that have been working in public and contributing to open source and leading the way for future generations of the next generation of Cardano developers. I'm really stoked. I'm really proud to show you what we've got. So let's dive in.
Cardano community. At the beginning of the year we started with our proposal in the Cardano Open Developers Challenge. I was already involved with running Dandelion at a Gimbalabs project, also heavily used by Game Changer and other projects at the time. It turned out that running that infrastructure was not as easy as it could be. So we had a solid base with Dandelion and the services that we were running on that and wanted to incorporate elements of the Coils Lite project, from which Dandelion Lite was born. What we wanted to achieve is create an easy to install Docker Compose project. Here we used the user interface from Coils Lite, expanding the number of people running Dandelion by offering a monthly reward and having regular project meetings. We believe it's important that blockchain infrastructure is well maintained, so we provide a budget for this in milestone 4. We had already started before we had funding because of these ongoing projects, so this funding helped us keep going. We learned a lot about what kind of hardware it takes to run these systems. We now know all the details about running block forest coils in Cardano GraphQL. During testing and running, we discovered several significant performance bottlenecks, especially in GraphQL. We kept in scope. We have built a DAO management site to keep track of our progress and monitor nodes. The project was already well defined, so this was not hard to do. We deliver on this and we are now working on expanding. So we deliver a course in milestone 3. You can find this on the Endamio platform because we like to use Cardano native tools where possible. We would like to be able to run on desktop hardware. This turned out to be a little more difficult than we expected. Worth mentioning here, we forged stronger connections with builders for projects like Ada Moment and Art Radio, who also started contributing. We envision DApps having the option to switch infrastructure to the user's liking. Dandelion is part of our federated vision of running financial infrastructure. There's a lot more to add and to improve. At the moment we are building a wizard, making connecting to the server to the outside easier. Adding automated node advertisements is on the roadmap.
I love it.
Hi, this is Ahmed. Yeah, hello, this is Gideon. Yeah, we're from Blockprint and we participated in the Gimbalabs African Developers Initiative 2025. Yeah, and it was a really, really huge success by the way. So
Hello, I'm Sebastian, the Gimbalabs community member and co-founder and ecosystem lead at Andamio, a Cardano-based startup. With support from the Gimbalabs community, I submitted a proposal titled Sponsor Andamio's Attendance at Cardano Summit Buenos Aires 2025. The proposal had three goals. First, increase Andamio's visibility among key Cardano stakeholders and the broader community through talks, interviews, roundtables, and showcases at the summit. Second, use that experience as a starting point to create an experiential resource capturing shared learnings from Cardano builders, founders, entrepreneurs about participating in live events, especially how to maximize impact with limited budgets. And third, leverage these outcomes to spark a conversation within the Gimbalabs community about the value of attending live events while navigating the financial and logistical constraints of early stage startups. As a result, first, Andamia was successfully positioned across multiple public and community-facing settings during and after the summit, not just as a grant-seeking project, but as a startup with a clear mission, defined product, and actively developed business model. Second, participation in post-summit events allowed us to take a real-world temperature check of activity across other blockchain ecosystems. And third, we created Founder in the Wild, an open source collaborative playbook for internet native founders who must step into the physical world to survive and grow. From the perspective of a Cardano startup founder, I learned that first, live events make the cost of a small decisions painfully real. Transport, food, baggage, and logistics all that up, sharpening budget awareness. Second, live events generate a range of powerful energies: creative, confrontational, collaborative, and affirming energies that recharge founders who mostly work online. And third, when it comes to growing a startup, nothing truly replaces face-to-face work. The kind of momentum created in person still cannot be replicated virtually. Thanks to the Gimbalabs community for supporting this exploration.
I just want to pause this real quick and say thank you to Sebastian because, man, going through this editing process, that was, first of all, like that was the best speech I had ever heard about Gimbal
Yeah.
Labs. It's fantastic. It was touching.
Yeah.
I really wanted to give my props to Sebastian before I even continued this.
Yeah, totally. Totally. Absolutely.
Hi everyone, I'm Harsha and I have been with Gimbalabs for the last couple of years. And in 2025, I've worked on many projects, but two projects that come to mind currently are Asteria and the DREP community platform, both of which gave me an introduction to how to work with the Cardano stack along with the Web2 stack. Along with that, I was also involved with multiple live coding sessions and the Gimbalabs Open Spaces, which is our governance session. So throughout, what I learned was that working with people is so much more fun than like working solo. It really helps your motivation levels to work with all these aspiring developers that are really motivated and want to do like big things. And in 2026, I'm really excited about all the new people we'll be meeting at Gimbal Labs, and Cardano Go, which is something we are working on, and the live coding sessions again, which is community code review, mesh live coding, um, and obviously our governance space, which is open spaces. So yeah, I'm really excited for 2026. Thank you, Gimbal Labs, for everything, for all the opportunities you have given me in 2025.
Oh, thanks for being a part of Gimbal Labs 2025.
So we want to say thank you for being part of Gimbal Labs 2025. Yeah. Thank you very much, Gimbal Labs.
Thank you, Gimbalabs.
Oh my God. So great. So great. Take a bow. Take a bow. That is so wonderful. Mm,
Yeah, I have a few things to say, Raymond.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to appreciate people will work together to get this done. I mean, Death Row, the Juke Boys, uh, what's the name? Shaggy Wax, Easy Man, yes, all of them, the Juke Boys. Thank you so much for the beautiful sounds in the video, and also I want to appreciate everyone um that responded to the documents, those that created the videos, Asha and Sebastian. I don't know the name, Sebastian. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, and thank you,
Absolutely.
Gimbalad, for giving us this opportunity.
Oh man. So great.
Samuel has his hand up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just want to kind of echo Aomi's sentiment. I want to say a special thank you to Izzy Human, So Fresh, Romeo the producer, Rico, all the guys from Solidity that contributed music, but also special thanks to Aomi for putting together this idea with Gideon and Jethro.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate it from Lewis, fighting for us on that. So thank you all. It's been a pleasure, and I hope y'all enjoyed it.
We really did. And let's keep it going. Let's keep this connection going. I think that bit of that bit of real music is like you won't hear that. That's not some snippet from the internet. That's real artists, that's real stuff. So let's follow that thread. I think it's one of the opportunities that like creators or creative work. I think you're really pioneering some stuff, so I'm really happy about that. And then yeah, it's just such a cool thing to go from, you know, I think the idea of it was in December. So it really is one of these projects that started, got accomplished, and then completed. So it's I think it's a great loop that we just finished. Hooray, hooray, hooray. All right. So, let's see what's next. Let's go through. Oh, Lucas, is now a good time to talk about our Web3
Yeah,
meetups and such?
it is. It is a
Yeah,
good
let's
time
do
because
it.
I meant to jump in on the last point because, congrats to you as well, Newman. I've been around for like 4 years and I was always used to just seeing James, not just obviously he's, a wealth of ideas and an engine to the whole space here. But
Sure enough.
yeah, congrats to you and congrats to Gimbalabs overall for blossoming more and more. So it's great to see. Um, yeah, so about my thing. Um, Spinning off of what I initially did at Gimbal Labs, I created Cardano for Non-Technical People, which became 45B. The goal is to onboard small and medium businesses. So it's not to onboard developers, it's not to onboard crypto people, it's to onboard business owners that could bring their business, whatever line of business it is, to use Web3, or actually could take a bit of Web3 to embed into their business. So with that in mind, we are trying as much as we can to go out to the real world and gather attention about Web3 to bring people in and take them through what they can do with Web3, and then ideally ideate what so going from zero to ideating a solution that they could put into their business. So what we have so far is we've done one cohort in Portuguese. It lasted for 3 months with 15 to 7 people. So as you can see, it reduced a lot from the initial curiosity to actually having people building their ideation of projects. So we're not coding, but we are seeing it from the technical side, from the legal side, and from the go-to-market or business side. How could this work for those projects? So what I'm going to drop in the chat is let me just 45b.io/web3 is the landing page for this. I'm just writing it just above the the structure that we are now envisioning for the next two cohorts. So those are going to be in English in partnership with Gimbal Labs, and another one in Portuguese. But the second one in Portuguese, I wanted it to be more like global Portuguese, reaching out to Angola, to Brazil, like, get Portuguese speaking people from around the world. And so what I wanted to align with you guys today is this kind of rethinking a bit these 3 stages that I just dropped on the chat, and I'm going to read it out to anyone who's listening to us on YouTube or catching up asynchronously. So the first stage would be initial experimentation and signups gathering through live streams to the outside world. So I know by default we go to Google Meets or we go to Zoom, but I'm really thinking, since it's so hard to get people to sign up, I've experimented a bit with StreamYard, for example, and I wouldn't be shy to connect my StreamYard to 45B's LinkedIn, and maybe even some shorts being posted to Instagram. TikTok, I wouldn't say that, but I'm not that familiar. But so the first stage would really be to take people through workshops that are just about having a wallet, connecting to book.io, opening a book, discussing a bit how they work, but moving on to the next application. At this stage, one of the main goals could be to really do a reassessment and a real inventory of what apps are live on Cardano that we can play with, that are not just crypto, there are more like not so much DeFi, but more Web3. Okay, so that would be the first stage. Second stage, we would be bringing people into Zoom calls to dive more into concepts. There we would be explaining a bit how the network works, what are blocks, what are transaction hashes, UTXOs, smart contracts, all just in terms of concepts. So non-dev, as James prefers to say, right? So that would be the second stage. And assuming we have people that want to continue on, we would continue on Zoom, but we would focus more on this third stage of idealizing your projects and connecting you into the communities and partners. So ideally, if you're a business owner, at this stage, you mature your idea from the three pillars that I was talking about: technical, legal, and go to market or business. And we would also start saying, okay, you can talk to this or that organization to sandbox things. You can talk to TXPipe to audit the smart contracts. You can talk to, CF, for example. One of the simplest things that came out of the first cohort is this friend of mine that works in banking as a program manager in a global bank. And on the side, he has his SMB consulting company for linked to accounting and that kind of stuff. So the simplest thing that we helped facilitate for that person is, let's use Reeve by Cardano Foundation to publish the balance sheet of your customers, which are companies, onto the blockchain. It's a product that's done by CF. I can introduce the learner to CF. I know some people that I can plug them into, and we could also help half technically for him to start having some infrastructure to do that kind of publishing balance sheets of his customers onto the blockchain. So he doesn't need to have a huge degree of blockchain. He just needs to understand, okay, this is the transaction, it's the metadata going into the transaction, and my customer has a wallet that signs and publishes this. But from there on, his company is a lot more literate on Web3 now, and as you know, the amount of use cases just with publishing metadata on chain is quite broad. So yeah, sorry, maybe I'm digressing a bit, but so
No worries.
I wanted to recycle the concepts and get some feedback from you guys. If you're okay with it, we would start from next week with this kind of experimental live streaming and take it from there.
I like it. And so you're in that stage of looking for people to join up. I know that Aomi was going, and maybe one
Yes.
other had signed up. Yeah.
Jethro and
Jethro.
Aomi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So there's the sign up link on the chat. Thank you for posting, Newman.
Yeah, yeah. And I really like the idea of the business owner sort of like pushing out to the use cases. I mean, more like practical or real world, and getting, we can, yeah. So I think that's a good way.
By the way,
yeah. So yeah.
One thing to mention as well, this aligns with overall 45B's concept, which basically 45B is me and a few colleagues and friends helping. So it's a very small initiative for now. But since the beginning, our logo says learn, manage, and build, right? So this aligns with the learn foot of pillar of 45B. It bridges on to management. For example, like we were talking about publishing balance sheets and taking payments in Bitcoin and Cardano. And then the build part, we would be mostly channeling things, but we can still do the product management, So that aligns as well with our initiative about UI UX work on Cardano.
Yeah. Any questions out there for Lucas, or the comments and such? And we'll give a minute or so here, and then we'll ask, I think, or maybe Abby or Dunn, do you getting ready to chat about a project?
Yeah, sure, I am
Yeah.
always ready.
Yeah. So just be at the ready, and we'll just, if there's any folks that have a question for this, so basically the next step would be, if you're interested in sort of attending these meetups, then go to that address and sign up, and then start there. Yeah.
Yeah, I will be in touch with Jethro and Naomi. Newman and Gula are very welcome to join as well, because for now, we don't have those many signups, but I'm really hoping that if we we go straight into LinkedIn, especially there, we could try to get some people that are interested in joining.
Yeah. I heard Hoskinson talk about retail, and it feels like this is sort of the retail thing. It's just like, okay, you've got a wallet, and if you're not going to build, like you're going to use and sort of those things. And you've been focused on that, so I trust your experience with this. Yeah. I remember
Yeah.
back in the NFT days, like like NFT map art. Was that and that was like I thought that was a really cool one. Was that you? Was that you? Am I under remembering that correctly? That wasn't you?
No. I remember
Oh,
there was
okay.
one project called Turf that was really interesting. It's still live, but it seems to have gone dark a bit.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
thanks for the
All
airtime,
right.
and I'll be in touch
Yeah.
for to start things next week.
Excellent. Thanks for coming in and doing the this monthly review. But while one of the things that we do is proposals, and Abby done, if you just want to just take just a couple of minutes, sort of briefly, as like a little break from reviewing projects, and just help us sort of socialize this idea that you've been thinking of. Is that cool? Just for a few minutes?
All right, that's fine. All right. So
Yeah, perfect.
when you say a few minutes, Newman, you know
Uh,
you're my best friend here, right?
yeah, it's true.
So
Let's set the time. Let's set the timer for 4 minutes, and then we'll.
all right,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
beautiful. All right, so
Okay.
Newman, let's get it down. This is not a proposal. This is not a pitch. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So this is just like an artifact discussion. All right. And because it came out from it was spurred from the meeting we had. So I'm not even actually doing a pitch or trying to design something too heavy. So it's just a lightweight idea. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And yeah, one thing that you can think of, and you may not be familiar, one of the concepts or frameworks that we use is the Sociocracy 3.0. And they think in terms of tensions. It's like a feeling or when something kind of rubs the wrong way. Like, oh, wow.
yeah, I
People are
get.
saying things in meetings. So you can kind of frame it in that, and I'll help you do that. But yeah,
All right,
this
no,
isn't a
no, no,
pitch,
let me
just an
share.
idea.
Let me share what
Yeah.
I have. All right, I can
What you
actually
got? Yeah.
share you. I can share you a document. Yeah, I will do that. So let me just tell you what we are trying to do. All right, this is
Yeah.
like an AI post-meeting execution system.
Okay.
All right, and it's supposed to do it's a very simple thing. All right, so what we are trying to do is we notice I told you I checked the trend of about 10 meetings, and I checked from 2025 even 2024 a bit. All right, and I saw what you guys were actually doing, and I said, okay, how about we have automations where we can always remind people of what they are supposed to do, and we can do that thrice a week, one after the meeting, post after the meeting, two like mid after the before the next meeting, and then 24 hours before another meeting. And so what we are doing is, all right, so we are not just, with my knowledge of governance, we are not just saying, oh, we want to remind you on Discord. We are going to actually say, oh, Newman is supposed to do this. We'll give you a prompt on your mail. All right.
Yeah.
So we're not just going to make it a general announcement on Discord. We are going to look at you personal. It's going to be a personalized automation.
Yeah.
Are you getting me, Newman?
Yeah.
So if we had said, oh, okay, Ayomi is actually going to do the reflection, and she's supposed to get it across maybe in the next meeting, we can actually reach out to Ayomi directly. You don't need to do that. You don't need to message her. You don't need to inbox her. The automation, we talk to her directly. And we are building it on N8N, all right? Is a PM tooling tool. It's a tool. We just automate it. We just integrate it into the system. It will link directly to your. It's not going to be a monitoring tool, all right? That's not what it's not going to do. It's just going to make sure that everybody is right on. And we can even use it for our live coding. I know you guys are engineers. I'm not an engineer in code. I'm a product manager, and I just specialize in governance. So I understand how it can be for engineers to easily forget things. the engineers are very bad, sorry to say, with documentation. You guys love to code and you fail to forget, you fail to do things. All right. So what we are trying to do is, as an engineer, I joined a meeting about 3 days ago where what's the name? It was a live coding. And I don't know. I'm just going to get his name again. He proposed last week and he was supposed to do something, but he forgot to do that thing.
Yeah.
So this is what we are talking about. Engineers are like that. They mostly forget things. So when we prompt them twice in a week, I'm sure that this too will work. All right. So it's just an artifact, not something too heavy, something that every one of us can use. And you will see. It's really good. Thank you. So I'll just drop the document here. All right.
And Unreal, you might be a project manager because you nailed the 4 minutes. You got your own timer, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm a
great.
product manager. I'm trained to keep the time. It's a framework. That's our culture.
So I'll just reflect back what you said, and anybody that has is anybody resonating with this? So it's like, ooh, that's something. You can reach out. Abidun, what is your Discord handle? You're on our Discord, right?
Sure, I am.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on Discord, right? Yeah.
So, it's basically, well, you had my attention, of course, but now you've got my full attention with N8N. So I don't know if we can get maybe like in the chat or reacting, has anybody used N8N? And I feel like this could be a very, very powerful thing. It's something that I would love to do. I do think that the ability, for instance, to send emails or some channel that is directly reminding, and it's no, I don't feel too much shade about oh, look, engineers, have a tough time, or we get in together and we say that we'll do a bunch of stuff. I think that comes a part of collaboration. There's an excitement. And then when you're alone, and you're thinking of stuff to do, if you don't have a good system or you don't have somebody to help and remind you, then that can be difficult, right? So yeah, it's part of human nature, but we are project managers and we're engineers, and we can build things and we can create an environment where those things are attended to. So I think this definitely fits with what Gimbalabs is all about. So I want to hear from at least one or two other people about this, and I would think that the next thing to do is to connect with someone, and then maybe a proposal could happen just to frame the work. Is anybody understand this idea? You want to ask some questions of Abiodun?
Lucas has his hand up.
Yeah.
Lucas. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Maybe I got distracted because I was typing about what I had just pitched as well. But can you tell me, in a quick sentence, what the proposal is? Is it to teach people about N8N?
Yeah. One of the things was that it wasn't necessarily a proposal, just to head off. But Abidun, do you want to now that you've gone through that bit, do you want to sort of try to summarize it in a sentence?
All right. Like I posted on the chat, and I was going to drop a document so we can always go through. So what we're saying is this is a post execution automation built on N8N. All right. Is a product manager tool. We use it to automate that. Once a meeting is done, okay, what's Newman supposed to do? So Newman said he loves to see movies, so he doesn't forget about Gimbalabs and go see a movie. All right. All right. So maybe tomorrow, we prompt him directly to his mail and say, hey Newman, have you done what you're supposed to do for Gimbalabs? And he said, oh yeah, I have. Then we ask him maybe on a Monday again next week, hey Newman, what's your progress with what you're supposed to do? And he say, oh, I'm doing. And then we ask him 24 hours before the meeting. All right. And even when you're on live coding, you are working as a collaborated team, you may want to do something and you forget. All right. So this thing will act like a prompt to always remind you that, oh, you have to do this. When nobody's there, you have to do this. All right. Thank you so much.
Okay. I just wanted to share a bit. Actually, I saw a video, I think it was a couple of days or 3 days ago, about N8N, like seeing or rethinking N8N at the light of now having agents and a number of AI tools that are like our human assist, our AI assistants. So this video, I can link it to you if you want, but it was a consultant saying, don't use N8N, use AI instead. So I'm not saying you shouldn't do the project because the goal is interesting to be accountable for what you state you're going to do. Uh, I just think that, yeah, using assistants like Read or Fireflies or whatever, and maybe exploring doing some like tooling research could be beneficial rather than just focusing on N8N.
All right.
Um,
Thank you. Thank you,
yeah, that's
Lucas.
good feedback. And have you done, have you done, and we'll wrap up, I want to go to like our project stuff in a little bit, but what would you gauge your experience with N8N? Like just starting out, like you've done a couple of grid projects, are you an
Yeah,
expert?
sure, yeah,
Like,
sure. All right, I do understand Lucas, and I do understand the loopholes in anything. All right, but one thing I have learned over time is there's always a human in the loop for the integration with anything. All right, you can integrate, you can see what Auto AI is actually doing. So I'm saying that, yeah, anything has probably some challenges, all right, but that's why you are going to build a system out of it. You just use the automation, and then you have a human in the loop, integrate another API into it, and then you integrate it back to your server, your Discord server, and your email. All right. So, but I will also want to I'll go through what Lucas has said, and I would love to improve. We are all here to improve. So thank you so much, Lucas.
yeah, totally, totally. Oh, and that's
Great
great.
stuff.
So, yeah, a little bit of sort of what we do here of like finding ideas. You have an opportunity to share an idea, come up with a tension, see a problem, have a solution, and then be able to socialize it, talk with some friends, get some feedback, and then there's this wonderful proposal writing thing that we do. And I wanna show you some of these proposals that we've got. Um, Wait a minute, let me bring it over here. Um, uh, on this big board of all these folks that have gone through this proposal process. These are all the ones that are going on right now. So for instance, and Harsha, we're shifting gears into the proposal review. We'll just do this for the next five minutes or so before we close out. Um, this one, which spaces? That's the one we're going through right now. This is a sort of a sub
Yeah, it is a
project of
subset
that.
of which spaces. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and it's
so
season
as far
six.
as which
Yep.
spaces goes, I think we have completed about 8 sessions for each of the spaces, except for 45B space. 45B space, I think we have done 1 session. Um, so yeah, except that we have done 8 spaces, and um, our first milestone has been approved, and either this month or the next, I'll be like putting the next milestone evidence, and hopefully we get approved.
Nice, nice. Yeah, so this is a catalyst project, and we're going along with the milestone reporting there. And this is kind of like a little bit of a reporting. Now, what about and open spaces is part of with spaces. Same with this 45B. We just got a great update from Lucas on this. Um, the next one is the end of the yearbook. And like one of the things that we love to do with Aomi's we can Aomi, we can move this over to done now, right? I think so. Let's move it to done. That's one of the great things about this side. Yay, hooray! Okay, next one would be this Cardano Go course update.
Is
Hey,
Andrew around? I feel like Andrew
yeah,
did the most work on that.
me, you, Andrew, led
Yeah.
by James. Want to give like a little shout out here? He may be just listening in.
Yeah, maybe
Basically,
I
this,
can give updates
yeah,
from
yeah,
my side. So there are two modules that I am working on, which both have to do with Bursa, which is like which is basically a wallet creation library, wallet creation and management library written in Go. I've
yeah.
created the 100 module and I'm working on the 102 module right now. Newman, do you want to talk about the modules that you're working on?
Yeah, the ones that I'm most excited about are Cobra. It's a Go library that builds command line interfaces, and another one called, oh God, I just had it and then lost it again. It's the API one that's called
Fiber.
Fiber. Yeah. We ran into some issues. I was working also with one called Apollo, and Lewis and I were doing that. He's not here anymore. But we've run into some issues, but it's so great to have a real project that you can dig your teeth into, and sort of make the mistakes. I really love making courses. I realized that, like, going through, and I've been doing some cool AI work because you can sort of get into conversation and say, okay, this is how it's being done. This is the GitHub repo. If you want to follow it, if you guys are doing the GitHub thing, you can follow this and you can see our updates, which is actually really exciting. It's like a social network without the problems of social networking. So I will put this in the chat. Put this in the chat here. Put this in the chat here. Put this in the chat here. All right. And let's see what's next on our little spot. DREP community platform.
So this
Is
GitHub community platform is stalled a little bit right now. It's still like a
we're still a
manual
little.
voting thing.
Yeah.
But James said maybe we can use Bursa to spin up a wallet and create like a bot that automatically votes whenever it needs to. But we'll have to do some research on it and maybe even put a different proposal because what we currently have is not enough to like do the whole thing, you know?
I'm not gonna put that down. Updated today. Yeah, we're stalled a little bit. We're stalled a little bit on that one. Because I guess the DREP process, and maybe this is something with this N8N, like, I think getting us as constituents excited or somehow socialized, if they feel like technical, but then it's like my eyes glaze over because that naming the hard fork for uh, the person who passed away this year, like, I love those type of things and I want to support them, but somehow it doesn't get through my filter and say, oh, this is something. Um, so maybe some type of automating the those and reading them in, uh, getting them into a format, but it takes time. It takes time. A bit. Yeah, I'm just gonna say we're stalled a bit. All right, all right. Marlowe PBL. Is Sebastian about? Anybody here for that one? Who are all our participants?
Maybe
Okay.
I can say hi about this one. Although I'm
Oh,
not in
okay.
the proposal, but I can just share as well. The Marlowe team, as you know, went open source. There's just 3 people mostly that I can think of. And they have been running calls about Marlowe V2, as they call it. It is an attempt at getting funded to do more iterations and improvements of Marlowe. And from my point of view, my Web3 workshops were originally called Marlowe workshops for business professionals. And what I can say is, unfortunately, there's not much infrastructure running on Marlowe that I can send my learners to. For example, we sandbox with the literal sandbox, as they call it, on Marlowe, which is sort of like a browser-based thing. But then if we want to put our contracts to run on chain, the infrastructure is just not up. And I've been nagging the team to update it, but there's some things there that are technical and really require a lot of depth of knowledge to encoding, because of the recent hard forks, recent in quotes, right? So Marlow is not 100% running, I would say.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm not
and
sure.
I think that's what's going on, is that we're in negotiation with because this is a Catalyst project, and so we're in negotiation with them at Catalyst to sort of figure out, like, what unfortunately, I do think it is holding other Gimbal Labs stuff up. So it's definitely on the front of mind. I know that Sebastian is working hard on it, and that's good updates. Like,
Yeah, from my side, what I'm
if
trying
you,
to do is keep since like raising awareness to the team that although they're already talking about making Marlow more for developers and less drag and drop and a number of iterations like the Marlow V2 thing, I keep trying to convince them to at least run something, make something runnable now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you've heard of Edilabs. There's a couple of people that did a proposal, which is a gallery of Marlow contracts, and they created a UI where you can instantiate the contracts. All of those things could be running and could be showcasing the current version of Marlow if they just fix it and make it runnable. So that's what I'll keep doing.
Okay, good. And if you by chance have like a link to those meetings, I'd love to put that in here.
Yes, I'll dig it up.
If you can, if you can.
The main point that I can think of pointing anyone to is the IOG server. There's some channels there for Marlow, but I'll find some links and I'll share it on the chat here.
Yeah, please do, and I'll remember to put that in. Let's just do one or two more. We got 2 minutes left. The Notion accounts. So each month we pay for people to have Notion accounts. It's not a lot, but it's not insignificant. These are all the folks with Notion accounts. Like Ken Stanton, we haven't seen in a bit, Lawrence Lay. So we're going to ask everybody, and again, this is an action item, note taker action item. To ask folks like Simon and Steve if they want, you can still be a participant in Gimbalabs without a Notion account. So these are meant to sort of change in and out. And I'm not exactly certain, but we had on the agenda to update these in March. But we want to start like getting people like, hey, if they want to hold on to them, obviously Sebastian needs one, but like does Simon or Steve or Ratio, who we haven't seen in a minute, do they still need them? And I feel like that might be a good spot to stop for now and start saying goodbyes. What do you think, Harsha? Is that a good spot?
I think so. I think it's exactly 11, 1 minute to 11. So
yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks for hanging out, listening in. Anyone want to any final thoughts, any words to get into the recording before we sign off?